Welcome back to Next Gen Live. What an exciting occasion we have here. The men's 50s final. And I was just without a co-commentator for that final game of the women's 40s division, but I'm happy to have the head coach of the men's 50s, Mark Holmes. Mark, how are we doing? Have you enjoyed the events so far?
Yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic. With my role as a chef, I only get to come over here on the Monday, and so traditionally I'm here for the men's 50s and men's 45s to have a look, and always enjoy commentating on this final. Yeah,
I'm sorry to not give you Joe Wright, but I hope I'm a suitable replacement. Joe's obviously up doing the open final with Wilf Kemsley on Stadium 9. If you want to have a tune into that, definitely so. It will be a cracker of a game, but this has some good stuff in store. Okay, so it's just Joe Wright. I've just got news that you do not have Wilf Kemsley up in Stadium 9. It's just Joe Wright with a very special guest commentator. Go and tune in to find out who that is, and then we will go into this first game. The Midlands Tigers taking on the Southwest Saxons in an all-star battle royale. The Saxons will tap us off. And this is a good early start from the Saxons. They play through the middles. Fake of a touch there, so we'll go through the hands and into the number 2. That's Bruce Kirby in the bright socks. Watch out for him, he's an athlete. Then swinging around to the right-hand side, they'll get into that close 7, but not quite this time for the Saxons. Then brought closer, that's a lovely little chicken wing, and they're playing absolute jouet here, the Saxons. What can they bring on this right-hand side? Just gone away from them. Really bright start from the Saxons, Mark.
Yeah, it's really good to see that they're playing a bit of heads-up touch here. You know, they've always got to see how they actually perform in competitions.
And then we will get the first look in from the Midlands Tigers. What can they bring?
This is a repeat of year's final as well. There's a couple of new faces out there, but most of them were played in the last one, which went to a drop-off. So let's hope for another drop-off again today, which will be, we will get a great result.
Oh, and that could be a first score, but fantastic touch made on the edge by Steve Lines. Mr. Lines has been picking lines all day from that link section of the park. He runs them at such pace, but there's the athleticism from Bruce Kirby in the pink socks. And then they'll move on to the star man, Luke Hudson. Hudson again, the scorer many a times on this pitch. Shifted on well, but not quite to hands. And this, as Mark just said, it's a remontada from last year's final. Both these men's over 50s teams finding a lot of success in this category.
Yeah, there's a whole group of players out there that are vying for selection for the European men's 50s team, and today is the final day to impress the head coach. And so hopefully I'll put a little bit more pressure on them, make them, you know, step it up a little bit notch for the finale.
I hope they all know that you're watching, Mark. I'm sure it will strike the fear of God into them.
Oh, don't you worry, I told them all over the day.
But that's a little loose catch from the Midlands Tigers, so the Saxons have another opportunity. Swinging the ball out wide now, they'll go into the subset. What does this subset look like for the Saxons? It's a bit timid, and unfortunately, wow, it's a good ball roll from Craig Wheeler. Wheeler now stands at link, dummied by number 34, Lee Thompson. Now the ball does come over to Wheeler.
Fifth touch, and they just lost a little bit of momentum there.
Well, I'm just hearing word from my producer that Craig Wheeler scored a length of the field try in the last game. And would you believe it, the man is 60 years old. I hope I look that good when I'm 60. But here go the Midlands Tigers. What can they bring here? And they'll work into the subset once more out on the right-hand side. Good bit of ingenuity on that width.
So ideally on the opposite side of the pitch, you have to work the ball, work their footwork to get over here, to be able to exchange some players, get some fresh legs on there, and hopefully get a strike up at the other end.
It was a fairly good set from the Midlands Tigers team, but now that Saxons have a go and they'll bring on that subset, it's a bit slow there, but Steve Lines recovers as per usual, and what a bursting line that is from Joe Swanson, the captain. Then Bruce Kirby, fantastic hands. Surely this is strike time, and it is. Saxons go one up.
That was a good move. That I did think they'd stalled slightly there on fifth, but they managed to do a little step back. Nice little bit of footwork and use the speed of Bruce Kirby down here. And yes, he just opened up, got that little overlap. Nice hands and popped the ball down.
I have to give a shout out to Rich Downton, who's wearing number 5 for the Saxons. That was a great bit of handling to pick the ball off his toes after a slightly loose one from Bruce Kirby. Again, Kirby showing all the athleticism in the world to get them there. But the Saxons will go one up. Now here's Sol Phoenix into the hands of Matt Wilkinson. Phoenix with good footwork, one hand pop off into Mark Hawkins. Hawkins caught on the width. Matt Wilkinson into Phoenix. Phoenix slangs one out wide. That's good pressure again from the Saxons, who forced the 6 and out. Now they'll try and work down into the right-hand side. Forward pass was the call. Now into the star man, Luke Hudson, who throws a skip pass. Got Attree there with a nice bit of touch, but then Craig Wheeler once more. Lee Thompson here. Another one to watch out for from this Saxon side. Thompson will drive the line and the finish will come.
No, he stepped out of play by the referee. Referee Mark stepped out, yep.
Into touch there. The diving finish on the edge was so impressive from the Saxons, but again, the Tigers' defence stands strong. This is good interlink play.
Yeah, so up to halfway by in 3. And lost a bit of momentum there, but I'm sure they'll get that back.
Showing promising signs, the Midlands Tigers here. Oh, really good hands, and coming onto it at pace there was number 21, Alistair Dobson. But that will be 6 and out once more. It's interesting, isn't it, Mark? The way that these Tigers have set up. They're getting into the final third, but they can't quite make that 5th and 6th count.
Yeah, they're just about getting there. If they can just save one touch on the way up there, they'll be able to have a strike move.
It might be how that subset is going at the moment. It's a bit slow and lackadaisical at the moment from the Midlands Tigers. If they can get a bit further up the pitch and possibly a bit closer to that box, but here goes Bruce Kirby. We were saying earlier, Mark, the socks must give him magic powers.
Well, he doesn't know, it makes him blur when he runs, that's for sure.
And here go the Midlands Tigers once more. Ken Pollard now into John Lavelle as well, who's also part of this pod.
Yeah, so you've now got 3 men's 55s there. You've got experienced players here.
Here go the Saxons once again, bearing down on the line. Good ball inside to Hudson.
Offside.
Offside penalty, so fresh 6 for the Saxons.
So this is what you play for. You've now got 6 opportunities to set something up and have a good crack at the line. So what they might aim at doing is trying to... Oh! Well, I was going to say what they might do is try and condition the Tigers to go one way and then zip it the other. And they normally do that 2 or 3 times and then utilise the last couple of touches. But no, first touch, bang, in. Score there by Paul Bunce, who happens to be my assistant coach for the men's 50s this year, but has also put himself into contention to be selected.
There we go. Bunce gets over the whitewash. No sparing touches a concern when the Saxons are involved. And they score off first phase.
What is all great to see as well is these guys at 50 years plus are running around, having good fun, making memories. You know, they've got the families here. Oh, Matt Wilkinson nearly sneaked through there. He's a fast, nippy player. But yeah, they're making memories. They're bringing the families. A lot of the kids play touch as well. So it's really good to see. Obviously,
growing sport is the main aim, but we know there's a competitive edge in all of these games. And it does get quite heated sometimes.
Yeah, well, these guys are leaders of their families at home. They're leaders in their business, life. You know, they want to be the best. They want to be at the top.
And that is brilliant. Obviously, growing the sport, the main aim, but this is a final. That old adage, everyone remembers if you win. Not a lot of many people remember if you don't.
And one thing the men's 55s head coach always said is the greatest thing about guys of this age is they know loads and loads about touch, but also the worst thing about this age is they know loads about touch.
And here go the Tigers.
Tigers are in. Yeah.
And there's the score. First score of the day for the Midlands Tigers. Mentioned before, Matt Wilkinson. He's a nippy little player coming from his head coach. And swooped in goes Mark Hawkins on the width.
So it's simple hands, but he created the overlap slightly. And Matt, by running at the link wing area, and the wing came in a little bit, and it just created a little gap for Matt to push it out to his winger and score. So it's good intelligence there.
Professional analytics here up in the comms box. Now we get Bruce Kirby with the magic dancing feet. Kirby once again into Joe Swanson. Kirby once more. Kirby gives that long ball out to the width. Kirby so strong in that middles department and drifting into the link there, but couldn't quite find his winger, Keith Wilden.
It was a little bit high. I think if our commentary box was down there, we might have struggled to catch it as well.
And now shifting the ball go the Tigers.
So it's Lovell to Hobson again, two great campaigners of the England touch, and then Davies, Griswood, and Verney back on.
And here go Tigers once more. They've worked their way over in 4.
It's a good touch there by Joe Swanson. He held them up slightly, just stopped momentum.
And that's a familiar sight. Lines making a crucial touch for the Saxons, and now the subset will roll. Hudson.
As you got Hudson and Spencer in the middle there, 3 and 9. Bunsey as the link, doing a little wrap round. Set up again. Ian's fast to probably step back. Oh, Davis there was able to make the touch.
Yeah, Davis making the touch. Ian Spencer, another nippy little player for the Saxons. And a foot in the ruck is the call from the referee, which meant that ball bobbled. And of course, this refereeing so tight here at the Nationals tournament.
Yeah, I mean, these referees have been great all weekend. And, you know, what is good to see is a load of younger referees coming through and refereeing some of these really, really important games where the pressure's on. Really, really good to see. The quality of our referees has been superb, and he's getting better and better each year.
And that's great to see. Also, I was saying to Joe Wright earlier, or Joe Wright was saying to me actually, so this referees, a lot will be similar during the World Cup and the International Euros tournament as well. So there's no point in pretending and then being soft. This is the standard we want to be at. This is the standard we want to play at. So let's have it in every category. Sol Phoenix.
And so Sol's a very, he's been around a few years as well, but also Sol is, I think he's assistant coach to the women's 45s this year.
And this is what's so great about this age group as well, isn't it, Mike? We get these players who are willing to play and willing to coach, bring up the youth as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we've got a few are coaching their youth regional sides. Paul Bunce from the Saxons is doing the women's Saxons 27s. We've just played a final. You know, it's really encouraging to see how many are staying involved, not just playing. We've got volunteers out here. There's one, I think he's the treasurer of England. He's not playing for Tigers because he's broke his finger, but that's because he was typing too much, chasing membership probably. But, but Ed Pearce, he does a valued job for England as well as playing, and his kids play as well. You know, it's great. It's such a family affair, and of course the women's game has come on immensely and has always been strong. But there's a lot more whole families coming along, wives, kids, brothers, sisters, aunties, uncles, etc. And it's great. And the crowds here have been phenomenal this weekend.
They have been. We've brought up a big atmosphere here. Sure, many are over watching the men's open final over on Stadium 9, but we still have a few stalwart supporters here down on Field 1.
Dare we say it, we're on at the same time as the men's opens, and of course that's one of the highlight opens finals. But guys, you know, at half time, just pop yourselves over here and see what legends are all about in this touch arena we have here.
And as I said at the beginning of the game, the battle royale between the two over 50s, remontada between the last year's finalists. And Lines comes around, shows and goes. Wilding will act at half, then a good cutting inside line from the number 13.
Nice splitter from Bruce and a great ball to the wing.
And that will be try time once again for the Southwest Saxons. And you will not be surprised to see who's involved. Bruce Kirby at it once again.
So on that move there, you saw Joe Swanson dumping the ball, stepping out to his left, and Bruce coming in between the dummy half and the splitting dumper. Comes in between and splits them in half. It creates an overlap, and then the winger doesn't know what to do, whether to take the splitter or to go to the winger. He left the winger free. Bruce pops it over, score.
Well, I was chatting to some of the Saxons players before, and if you couldn't guess, I'm a Union player by trade, and I kind of said, look, this is. It feels to me as if you get caught in the wrong position, then you're absolutely done for in this game, and I suppose I'd be right in saying that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I think you'll find an awful lot of people of our age, my age, that come and play touch have played Union or League, depending on where they're generally from. And you know, there are a load of crossover skills, although they be completely different games. There are a load of crossover skills that you can bring, and it's noticeable the players that have either played League or Union and what they bring, and it's really exciting as well to see that there's more effort that we're putting in going into the clubs and trying to get them to come and try touch in the summer, even if it's just to keep them fit, and then they realise what a great game it is. And then get some brownie points by bringing the kids and the family with them. And would you like a day out at the rugby? Yeah.
And I suppose one of the better things about this sport is the honesty. I'm not going to dob in my own sport, but by trade, this is definitely the most honest variant of rugby. Everyone is trusted by opponents and teammates, but there go the Saxons once again.
Simple hands again, simple hands again.
And the skip pass out to the width from the middles. This time Mark Townsend involved, and he splits into that nice little quickie on the edge and allowed the winger to dot down without being touched.
Yeah, but like you're saying about the honesty, this game wouldn't exist without all players being honest. It really wouldn't. it would destroy the game if anything like that crept in. People started being a bit dishonest, you know. But like I say, dishonesty would ruin the game, but it would just ruin the reputation. And we've got a great reputation. The crowds all sit together, you know. There is a bit of a traditional, you know. Your supporters will go at the end, you're trying to score against, and at half time they all swap around, and you know, but realistically they can all mix together and it's not an issue.
No, definitely
it's
not.
Brilliant.
And again, the Saxons very happy with their performance in the first half. The Tigers yet to really get going. Here's the athleticism from Kirby once again to really make the most of that subset. Now Hudson. Hudson finds Buns. Now Attree. Now into Spencer. Spencer breaks gain line. Now Spencer again on the nice little quickie. Hudson once again gets touched, but that will be 6 and out.
Yeah, so Luke Hudson's number 3 for Saxons is a slippy little character. He's got snake hips. He's here, there, and everywhere, and you never know which way he's going to go. Which is great when he's attacking and you know he's in your team, but it's also not great because you don't know where he's going to end up and where his dummy half needs to be. But no, he's a great lad. Great lad.
Yeah, Hudson, one of the standout players for this Saxon side, who go in at half-time very happy. They've definitely got one over the Midlands Tigers in this first half. Can they continue it into the second? We will definitely see. So far, Saxons making the most of their opportunities. And that will be half-time. Catch us in a few moments for this enthralling second half between the Midlands Tigers and the Southwest Saxons.
It's going to be a fantastic finale to a fantastic weekend here in Nottingham for the national weekend. Who says you can save the best till last? We're going to start with the nationals here and having a fantastic tournament. approach the final game, final half of the game. Players and officials, this is your 1 minute warning. This is it. This is what the whole weekend has been building up to, the final half of round game Monday. Here in Nottingham. Nationals 2026, sponsored by Premier. Players and officials, 30-second warning. Please take to the field, ready to play.
Welcome back to second half action here in the men's 50s final. We have the Saxons with a commanding 4-1 lead over the Midlands Tigers. I'm still joined by Mark up here in the gantry. Mark, what did you think of that first half? I'm actually going to put you on the spot and go, if you're a Midlands Tigers coach, which some of you do coach in the 50s, I'm sure, what would you be saying at half time?
I'd be saying to them, look, you know, what we need to do is really play our touch on the front foot. If we start getting the yardage, we know we've got the skills to create opportunities on the 7. But if we allow them to come on to us and we start rolling back a little bit, they've got some really nifty players and a little bit more speed than us, so we need to be a bit more savvy. But it's
Wheeler. Now, here's the Magic Man Lee Thompson in the middle. Thompson will swing over to Wheeler once again. Wheeler running with that one hand, but not quite there. And we hear words down from the touchline that the switch of pass as you get from Union into touch. But now the Tigers will come through. A nice little show and go from Neil Davies. But now into Saxon's possession.
Yeah, I think Saxons just need to keep the pressure on, just keep rolling it up there, hitting those few spaces. That's it, Luke. Just simple things like that, a little bit of footwork, and can get you so many yards.
Hudson once again acting half, then gives off to Ian Spencer. Hudson once again, that ball could have been taken. He had so much more time than he needed, but it will be a forward pass, so will come. And a penalty to the Tigers, a fresh 6 there.
So the Saxons are defending relatively tight here. I think the Tigers are going to have to do a little bit of work to stretch the defence, to create a few holes in the middle. And if the Saxons stay tight, then the holes will be on the outside. But at the moment, the Tigers are not really moving them around enough.
Now Sol Phoenix just slowing the game down. And now Phoenix again slowing that ball down. He's got to get a bit deeper now, Phoenix. That's a good pop over the top. They've got some space here if the Lynx can get round. Phoenix.
He's got the overlap.
Zip into the hands, but the through the leg hot dog was not the one there.
So you see what they did there? They created a 4-on-3 overlap. Unfortunately, one of the guys didn't run the hole, so the overlap was negated. And the pass was a little bit behind, but you know it's very small margins here. Still within reach for the Tigers. This
still within touching distance as Lines goes in, then into Downton. Downton with dancing footwork, just scragged back by Sol Phoenix and co. Lines will receive the ball. Oh no, skip pass into the hands of Keith Walding.
So what they've done there on 5th touch is try and bury it in the opposite corner to the box where Tigers need to go. So Tigers going to have to work harder to get over there and get some player exchanges on.
Now they'll try and roll into this. They've wasted a few touches getting over there. 3 on half. The sub strain comes on. It's a nice hole picked by the number 6, John Lavelle, but to no avail this time. The Saxons once again will try and raid the shores of the Tigers. Wheeler. Now Walden into Thompson. Then number 29, Mark Townsend, gets on the ball. And that's 5. What can they conjure up here? They might look to camp the others down, but Wheeler will go for it himself. The switch is on. One more. Oh, this would have been fantastic. Wheeler not reading from the same hymn sheet as the rest of the Saxons. Great bit of interchange between links and mids there, and then getting the wings involved, Mark.
Absolutely, no more touches left. There's no harm in trying. As long as you're able to get back into defence quickly, you know, have a go. You've got nothing to lose.
Indeed, and that should be the strategy in the final. As I was saying to Joe earlier, finals in sports, down from equestrian to chess, always come down to a moment of magic. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in the final. And that's good hands from Midlands Tigers. Mark Hawkins, but 6 and out for the Tigers. Walden, Wheeler, into Townsend. Walden into Attree once again. Penalty Saxons. Attree. Deceptive footwork from Attree. Then Hudson into Spencer. Buns into Hudson once again. Hudson slowing the ball down, looking for a quickie now. Hudson with dancing footwork. And that's try time once again. Oh, no. Oh.
I think he might have been saying that 7 was offside, so play through. I think that's what he's discussing with the senior ref.
And we're just having a bit of deliberation here.
Yeah.
Try time for the Saxons once again. Even more in the driving seat now. Again made by the brilliance of Luke Hudson wearing that 3 jersey. I was actually told by Craig Wheeler earlier not to boost Luke Hudson's ego even more.
Well, now you talk about Luke Hudson. In training, we always try and get some training matches against everybody else. And in the last training session we had, we were playing against the women's 45s in a training match. And on one of our subsets, Luke decided to run off the pitch after placing his dump, doing our sub move, and he ran into the female box.
Oh,
And
wow.
so he's not going to live that down now because it's on live stream.
And there we go. Luke Hudson, the magic man for the Saxons. He must know that he's got that given talent. That's another good touch from Bruce Kirby. I'm so sure that if I ever wore pink socks like that, I would be nowhere near his ability.
It just blurs on the screen, blurs into the eyes of the Tigers' faces. And they need to be wearing that American football black eye stuff under, don't they? Stop the glare.
And again, this subset from the Saxons comes with such thunder, doesn't it, Mark? Round the corner they go. Townsend.
Oh, they've got the bit between the teeth now, haven't they? And they really are going for it.
But they will come back. Unfortunately, that was one of the best subsets we've seen from a men's 50s category. Rolling round with such precision. Here goes Phoenix, though. Can the Tigers emulate that? It's a bit slower ball, a bit too long on the floor there for the Tigers. Chase comes in. Now, John Lovell. Lovell loses the ball. Wheeler once again. Townsend into Walden.
So just hearing a call from the Saxons box there is slow it down a little bit, keep your rooking nice and clean. And that will make it really hard for the Tigers. What will make it easier is loose passes like that give the ball over at halfway. See if the Tigers can capitalise on that unforced error.
They've got 4 scores to go. That's a flying touch there. But Tuan Xian Yiha will evade the touch once more. And here go the Tigers. Can they get in? The comms just getting a bit blurred there. on the Tigers side of things.
If you just look at the two sides now, you know, the wind's beneath the sails of the Saxons. You just look how quick the ball gets down onto the ground and how quick it comes up off the ground and they're playing it. And then the next set, when you see Tigers doing it, you'll see that it's a little bit more laboured. And that's giving Saxons chance to defend and get better in defence and get up that extra half a yard.
Indeed so. The Saxons really playing with confidence, oozing as we see that nice little out the back to Swanson. Then lines again. That was lovely. Waldin into... Oh, that could be try of the tournament.
No, he stepped out.
Oh,
stepped
he's just
out.
put a foot in touch. But champagne rugby from the Saxons.
Superb. Love it.
We see that classic link play once again from Lines. He's so good at making things tick over for the Saxons. And again, these Tigers players just can't deal with it at the moment. Saxons are so quick. If you squeezed a Saxon sponge, you would ooze confidence.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Saxons here. I know the Tigers lost 2 or 3 key players before the tournament and one during the tournament. But that is what high-level sport's about. You've got to be able to maintain yourself, maintain your bodies, and also see yourself through the tournament. Looks like the Saxons here have still got a full squad. Nobody's strapped up. And Mike Rose coaching them is an extremely good player and in my 50s squad at the moment. So, you know. Oh, nearly. I think that's...
Oh, and they're coming together out on the outside.
Yeah. A few tired bodies here. And that's Stefan over there on the wing who's taken a knock for Tigers.
And Bruce Kirby gets up unscathed, but unfortunately the Tigers player is still down. And he will get back up and receive a well-earned applause as well. But Saxons will carry on ruthless, as the name suggests. Good show and go from Rich Downton. This is better from the Tigers, and you're going to have to take my temperature in a second, Mark, because I've just been hit with the commentator's curse. And unfortunately, it's one of the ways...
Oh, while we take your temperature, I'll just like to say thank you to the Scottish men's 50s who came down to play this this weekend. They'll all be in the cars on the way back, but a little mention to a young man called Duncan Mascarenas, who I've known since the day he was born, and he came down from Scotland to play this weekend. So I hope they all enjoyed it and have safe journeys home, guys.
All the nations that were involved this weekend, we have to give a massive hand to, obviously prepping for their European games, but also gave us a good bit of marquee matchups here on pitch one. I saw a French side play earlier yesterday. They were excellent against an Irish side who also looked to be prepping for the Europeans.
Yeah, it was great. We had the Welsh, the French, the Irish, Scottish here. Absolutely great to see them come along and join in our nationals. You know, I think this is the second or third year that some of them have come along now. It's always good fun to bang heads against teams that will play later on in the year.
Definitely so, as we see the Saxons come through the pace of Wheeler once again. Wildin off to Thompson. Then Attree comes round the corner, Rolling Thunder. Hudson, the playmaker.
Over the mark.
And that's not coming back to the mark. I also say, Mark, that would be one of the ones I would struggle with quite a lot. Just returning to the mark, taking your ego down a peg. Actually, I will say I got touched back there, which is obviously in union, you're trying to gain as many metres as possible, but not the way in touch rugby.
No, but I mean, it's all about anticipating the touch, you know, and also initiating it. So if you're in attack, if you can initiate when the touch actually happens, it means you're in control. If the touch comes in and you're not expecting it, you're not in control.
No, wise words there from the England men's 50s head coach. But here go the Tigers. Can they get in once more? The one-handed grab was coming from Mark Hawkins, but this time, again, couldn't reel it in. So Saxons ball once more. Hudson into Attree. Now into Spencer. Spencer into Lines. And he'll go back to the mark there. Again, keeping everyone honest is the way. Swanson. This is a driving play from Rich Down.
And
Rich Downton.
Just been penalised for a hard touch from behind there by John Lovell. So they get 6 again. So they should have a good strike at the line here from the 7.
And a bit mixed there, almost got called up for crossing. Downton. Lines will play acting half. Here's the big swinging ball, and that's another Saxons try. This time Keith Wilding, who has been hugging that touchline all day long, finally gets his just rewards.
So you see where the mid came through there and just attracted the link towards him. That meant it left his winger free, because their winger had to come in and look at the Saxons link. So yeah, and well spotted by Joe. Nice lofty ball over the top. Easy catch, easy tap down.
Joe Swanson with the big right to left pill. And this Saxon side are brimming with success and confidence. But these Midlands Tigers are no slouches. We'll have to say that.
Now we'll talk about the family affair of touch rugby. Joe's wife Celine has been refereeing here this weekend, and his son plays for the French, lives over there. So yeah, it's good to see them out there. In fact, I think Celine was refereeing one match where Joe was playing.
That must have come back at dinner time, definitely. So you called me for offside.
They actually work together as well.
There you go. And here goes Hudson. Again, just slowing the ball down. Oh, it's a good fake from Hudson, and a checking wing as well. Here goes the Saxons once again, and he's just been caught slightly there. Ian Spencer, and 6 and out from the Saxons. 3 minutes left on the clock here.
It's looking like it's going to be an opposite result from last year, with the Tigers winning last year in the drop-off. Looks like Saxons are nearly there.
And looks like there will be no need for that this year, as the Saxons are dominant on the scoreline. Just about these Midlands Tigers not quite taking their chances, but here goes Sol Phoenix, who's been bright. Then swinging out, the handling will do, but that's a really good play from the number 25. David Steele this time.
Over the mark, so they're giving the ball away to the Tigers. I suppose at this time in the match, you know, you're looking at a minute and a half per set of 6, roughly-ish, depending on how quick. But looks like time is running out for Tigers now, unless they can get a couple of scores quickly.
Phoenix. Now Phoenix again at acting, oh, not quite acting half, sorry, he's in the middles. There's number 53, but turnover again for the Saxons. They've been such a stalwart side in defence, not letting any of this Tigers offence, through. As we hear murmurings of last minute down on the Saxons sub bench. They know they're almost there. Can they hold on and not make any silly errors in this last minute? I'm sure they won't do. Swanson.
Yeah, there'll be some bragging rights going on at the next England camp, I can tell you now.
Here's Lines. Downton. They're waiting for the klaxon to sound here. Swanson will swing off to Lines once more. lines, and then Downton. Downton with swinging feet. Wilding. Now into Saul Phoenix. The pass was forward. Swinging out wide. Into Martin Hoare's hands. There's the buzzer. And that will be it. The Saxons take the victory. Absolutely dominant on the day. Saxons scoring 6 in the end, with great performances from Luke Hudson, Rich Downton, Bunce, Spencer, Steele, Swanson as well. And of course the pace from Craig Wheeler and also Keith Wilding in that left link and left wing channel. Yeah, what a day for these boys, hey?
It's great, and you see that they're all hugging at the end. They're all happy with each other. They're all happy with the opposition. And these guys will share a beer in the bar, and no doubt at some stage. But you know, these guys just all really love getting on with each other. It's the camaraderie that it's all about, which is great.
And we're just hearing that the Saxons have also been double victors today. But the focus here on Field 1 is on the Saxons men's 50s, who do walk away with a title. Huge effort from these men. I was about to call them young men there, but maybe that's... And of course, we see the winners here of the men's 50s, the Southwest Saxons. Last game, we had the winners in the women's 50 or women's 40s category, which were the South. Oh, I'm just checking my phone here. Southwest Saxons also in the senior women's final game. But the focus here, all on the men's 50s. Fantastic day for the Saxons, winning outright with 6-1. And that will be it here on Field 1. Mark, thank you so much for joining me in co-coms. I hope you're happy. I hope you've got some of the selections after that.
I've got to do my selections now, so these guys will be chasing me, asking me who's in, who's out, but tough, I'm going home to do them. And but no, it's a pleasure to always come and commentate on any form of touch, but particularly these legends.
And that will be the end of the show.